Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the fourth episode of Happy Heading Nowhere podcast. I'm Steve. Glad to have you with us. And as I always say, by we, I mean me. So here I am in the backyard again. The weather's just been too good not to be outside. So chickens are out today. You might see them wandering around. Oh, I forgot my chicken hat. Hold on. Hi. Hi, ladies. All right, here we go. Chicken hat. Hey, you like the rooster hat? This is the Yardbird hat from Sendero. I don't know if you can see it. So on this side, yeah, this side, Sendero. Go over there, buy yourself some gear. They got some great hats, plus some other stuff. Sendero. You saw it here first, or maybe not. They're a good company. They're based in Texas. Had the chance to meet those guys, so. Whoa, chickens flying around the yard. All right, the Yardbird hat. Here we go, from Sendero. Get yourself one. Let's talk a little bit about this last week. This last week was really good. I had the chance to hang out with my crew from the old Liberated Brands Volcom crew, IT. We used to always do this IT Christmas pre-party, just IT crew. So we'd get together and just have a great time. And so they were kind enough to invite me out again this year. It was really a good opportunity just to hang out together, just to get reunited a little bit after some time away from one another. Really appreciate that crew having me out for their Christmas party. And just the IT group, it was really neat just to see everybody together again. There's still so much uncertainty over at the brand where they work and so many things up in the air. But the team's trying to keep their heads up, look forward to seeing where they all land. And they're going to all land on their feet. They're such a talented group. There was a press release that went out about what happened, and that was for some of them the first time they really heard all the news. It was a rough week for them, but the Christmas party certainly helped. It reminds me of something that's very important in Stoicism, and it's the idea of impermanence, right? Change is always occurring. Nothing is permanent. There will always be change. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Accept the things you can change, let go of the things you can't. And that's a lesson that we're learning right now. With these changes. There's a saying, you can't step in the same river twice. Or in Texas, we used to say, if you don't like the weather, just wait 15 minutes, it'll change. That's right. That's the way life is. If you don't like what's going on right now, don't worry. It could be worse or it could be better, but it will be different. The main topic I want to talk about today is the Overwintering Series, which we've just kicked off with our first blog this week. Finished that baby, put it out there. It's available to all of you with a workbook for the first week on preparation. And so here are some of the things we talked about on that blog. If you haven't read it, I'll give you a quick summary. This time of year is a great time of year as we head into the winter, as we turn the corner of the new year, to just identify clutter in our lives, to identify things we can let go of, whether it's the physical things that we have that we no longer need, that we can toss in the trash or give to Goodwill. Those things we can let go of might be physical. They might be mental. There might be clutter in your mind from a busy year, how you wrapped up the year, things going on in your job, things going on in your career. It's good time to just get rid of that mental clutter. The other thing is emotionally, letting go of the things that may be burdening you down. Maybe there's regret, maybe there's shame, maybe there's guilt. Letting go of those things. This is a good time of year to reset, reframe, relook at your life and let go of those physical things, the emotional things, the mental things. Clear them out. Make way for the new in the spring. A lot of us just have super busy schedules. I remember last year at this time, we were meeting nonstop several hours a day on these integrations that we were doing. The team was burning the candle at both ends. You might have that type of schedule right now. You might have the type of schedule that's keeping you buried. Take some time. I'm like begging you, take some time. Well, the job's not going to let me do that. Doesn't matter. Take some time. I just know that in my own life, when I've gotten to that point that I can't go one more step and I'm just feeling like my mind won't stop racing, my body's fatigued, my mind is just tired, that I owe it to myself to step back. I'm a better employee. I'm a better boss. I'm a better parent. I'm a better husband if I can take some time. The job does not run your life. I know we think it does. And you go, but Steve, you don't understand. I'm different. I do understand. Been there, done that. We have to take time. If you own the company, you deserve to give that to your employees, to give them this time during this time of the year to take a break, to recalibrate. You owe it to them, and they owe it to you to take care of themselves. I think you'll have a better team. And so as we think about not just the physical, but the mental and the emotional, that all goes away when we look at what we can let go of. But more importantly, what can we replace it with that's better, that's more healthy? Once you decide what you're going to clear out and let go of physically or mentally or emotionally, the question is, what's most important? What's the most important things that you can replace that with physically, mentally, emotionally? Decide what's most important to you. What do you want to do more of in 2025? What do you want to do more of that you didn't or haven't done in years? You have this window of opportunity. And I just faced this a few weeks ago, right? Where I had this window of opportunity and I had a ton of time. The question was, what was I going to do? What was I going to do with that time? What's the thing that I've been wanting to do? What's the thing that will get me up in the morning, will motivate me? And it's been this blog, this podcast. I want to share these experiences. I want to share these challenges with you. And I want to see us grow together. So that got me up. That got me going. That renewed me. Thank you for being a part of this. You are a partner with me in my growth. But anytime you're about to start an endeavor that allows you to have more of what you want and more of what you need in life, you're going to face resistance. Stephen Pressfield, I think in his book, The War of Art, talks about this resistance that we face whenever we're pursuing our art or creativity. There's always a resistance that may say, well, I'm not good enough, or no one will listen to this podcast, or no one will like what I write, or I'm not an expert in this. I'm faking it. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. There's always this resistance. Someone, it could be somebody else going, you don't have time for that. You'll never make it. What are you going to do for money? All of that. There's always resistance to things that we need for ourselves. We have to fight that resistance. And here's the thing, the secret of the resistance you might feel to doing that thing that really motivates you, that thing that you really love. The resistance is always an indication that you're doing the right thing. If you're feeling that hesitancy, if you're feeling that negative, if you're feeling that pushback, maybe it's within, maybe it's from the outside, you should push back harder and pursue that even more. So the other side of this coin is saying yes to something. Remember, when you're saying yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So make sure that yes is worth the no. So, for example, yes, I'll stay late and work. You're saying no, I'll miss my kid's basketball game. Yeah, is that yes worth that no? Absolutely not. Everybody has to have trade-offs, but consistently that yes is not worth that no. So here's my plan. As much as I love this blog and podcast, what I'm doing these next few days prior to Christmas is I'm powering through getting content ready, getting it done, getting my blogs written, getting the workbooks done for the Overwintering Series, so that over the next 2 weeks, starting next week, I will just shut down. So the content you'll be seeing, I'm going to start recording that, writing it, and getting it all done this week. I'll be putting that out over the next 2 weeks, but I'm shutting down. I'm going to take my own advice. I need to take my own advice right here, right now. I need to recalibrate. I need to refocus. I need to reframe things. I need to come back fresh in the new year. So I'm taking my own advice. I'm clearing the clutter. I'm going to wipe my calendar. I'm going to spend time with my wife. These next 2 weeks, I'm going to spend time reading. I'm going to spend time writing. I'm going to spend time hanging out with the chickens. There you are. Hey. Boop, 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 boop. She's not supposed to be doing this. I'm going to spend time with the chickens. So these next 2 weeks, got a new rock tumbler. Dude, I'm doing old man hobbies now. I'm going to be taking care of that. I'm going to be doing some work on the house. I need to start working on this pergola over here. Whatever it takes, that's not this. It's not work related. That's not about producing. I'm going to slow down. That's what overwintering is. Identifying those areas where we can just slow down and be at leisure, at rest. Why am I overwintering? Well, I'll give you my reasons. I need to unplug. Since I left work, I've been building this podcast or putting together this blog. I've been creating website, been very busy putting this together. And I'm a little frantic right now. I'm trying to do so many things, but it's all for me. And I love it. I love every minute of it. But I need to take a couple of weeks to get my head on straight. That's one of the reasons, just to unplug. The second reason that I'm doing overwintering, and I'm going to be quite honest and a little bit vulnerable here, 2024 was a very hard year. At the end of 2023, I lost my mom. She passed away after a short illness with leukemia. She was 96 years old, so she lived a great life. She had a lot of years on this earth, but we lost her around Thanksgiving of last year. So as I entered 2024, I'm not going to lie, I cratered. It was so tough. I had a lot of things going on at work. And then on top of that, losing my mom, I didn't deal with it very well. So it's been a hard year. Work projects were just a grind over the last 24 months. It's just been a grind. Anybody in my circle will tell you what a grind it was. From the top to the bottom, it's been a crazy 2 years for our team. So for those reasons, I'm going to overwinter. Another reason to overwinter is that it's a perfect season and a perfect time to align with nature, as we've talked about. Let the rhythms of the season guide us. You know, the sun sets earlier. Maybe we go to bed a little earlier. Maybe we recalibrate that time schedule. It's a little colder. I mean, here in Southern California, not so much, but it's a little cooler. So maybe we take some time and light a fire and rest and relax. I don't know what it is, but aligning with nature and our own nature at this time of year is the reason I'm overwintering. And as I mentioned, you know, I love that illustration of the soil going dormant, how the soil needs to replenish itself and refresh itself. And sometimes the chickens like to get out here and help it by digging it up and looking for worms. So they're benefiting from overwintering as well. So what will I be doing? As I mentioned earlier, it's going to be reading, going to be journaling, going to be probably listening to some podcasts, maybe watching some movies, just trying to have some downtime, some leisure time. So listen, it's been great chatting with you today. If you haven't checked it out, go over to the blog, happyheadingnowhere.com. I'd love for you to sign up and subscribe so you can get the emails direct to your inbox. I hope you'll follow along as we are going through the Overwintering series as we discuss the next steps. Next week is all about conservation. So we'll be diving into that topic. Listen, thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great week and take care. I'm going to take care of the chickens. Hi. How are you? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I guess they don't like my hat.